Okay, what's up? I'm gonna take this hat off. I feel like shit today, so if I sound congested, please forgive me. But it's neither here nor there. God, I wish this hair was back here. It's like down to the side. I look like a fucking thumb. Oh well. So the game I would like to review today is called the Alien Cube. Before buying it, I could have looked deeper into it. I guess this is another one, kind of like You Are Grounded, that I'm not mad, but I bought it because it said the Alien Cube, you know what I'm saying? So I thought it'd be about aliens. Technically, it is about aliens, just not the aliens like the little gray people or something like War of the Worlds type shit. That's what I was trying to be scared by, you know what I mean? But this turned out to be a Lovecraftian style game, which I love Lovecraft's lore. Don't get me wrong. I like the old gods and all this stuff. I need to read some more of his books just because I find that world he's created very interesting. But, said but a lot. This is the summary on the Steam page. Worlds collide as your cursed inheritance throws you into the middle of a series of mysterious events. Discover terrifying secrets as you follow your uncle's disappearance and confront a horrible truth that will change your life forever in this cosmic horror first-person adventure. So, with that being said, I want to say I think the graphics for this game are pretty decent. Story, I'm not like most Lovecraftian stories or games that you'll play always kind of have some typical theme to them, at least in my opinion. You'll be looking for something and you'll end up being the crazy person at the end of the game in the asylum, or like you'll end up not being believed and stuck into an asylum. Or somehow it'll loop around that this whole time you've been the problem or you've been the thing that the cult is looking for. This one, for me, there were some things in it that irritated me. So you go to your uncle's apartment in this game to go get something, and your uncle has all the stuff that you need to look at this alien cube that you eventually find. But in the apartment, there's this giant hole in your fucking kitchen cabinets, right? Not the top ones, but the lower ones. I think they're drawers. Your kitchen drawers, we'll call them. Is just missing. Like where you would put where you put a dishwasher. There we go. Where you'd put the dishwasher, it's gone. And it's just this nasty looking, slimy, gross ass hole. Like it just looks fucking gross. But you crawl through it, and when you pop out, you get your fucking ass beat. You get beat to shit, and you wake up in this weird room, and there's syringes and pills and shit. So it's like, okay, clearly you were drugged for a second or something. These people beat you up and they put you in here. Then you escape, crawl back through the hole, and you get something from the apartment and you skedoodle out into the woods. The reason I have a complaint is because every time something happens or something horrible happens, right? The people or the developers continuously have this character go like, I need to go back to my uncle's to figure this out. I need to go back to my uncle's to figure this out. When a logical human being would not fucking do that. Like, why couldn't you have just had us gather up the shit, take it to our home, instead of just constantly going back to the same apartment where, one, the cult people are in the room next to you and you got fucking jumped and drugged and put in that. Like, to me, that makes no sense, and I find that idiotic. Like, that's just dumb as fuck. That's like when you're watching a horror movie and they struggle to put the keys in the fucking car. Like, no one does that. Or they can't open the door, like, can't figure out where else to exit, or they don't fight back and just die. Like, let's add some logic in it, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just in a bad mood because I'm sick, or maybe it's just the fact that, like, I just find that so stupid. You're like, I gotta go back to my uncle's. You could have taken the shit that you needed, right? Or maybe not go back to your uncle's because these people are fucking evidently looking for your character. But yet you keep going back to where they're probably fucking at. But neither here nor there. There were some trippy things in this game. Like, at one point, there's this empty room, and it's like an abyss, and then these stairs or not stairs, but this bridge kind of just starts appearing. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm really into trippy things like bright colors, vibrant colors, like tie-dye shit, and anything that makes my brain go, whoa, I like that. Right? But that's just myself. There's also a scene when you go into a room with, like, a chair, and it's, like, floating and spinning. I thought that was pretty cool, too. The story itself, I mean, outside of just the parts that, to me, like going back to your uncle's just seems stupid. And how it ends, to me, I didn't like that. So, before we jump into how it ends, I'm going to go over the tags and we'll just agree or disagree if these are what they are or if I think they're wrong. Lovecraftian, 100%. Horror, yes. Exploration, I mean, you kind of wander around. Sometimes you got to pick up some sticks or you got to find a shovel and things like that. Outside of that, I wouldn't consider it that much exploration. Atmospheric, yes. Investigative, sure. Controller, I played on a keyboard, so, maybe you could use the controller. Survival, the only survival aspect that I saw is trying not to die, but you're not really chased by anything up until you go to, like, a different realm, and then something kind of chases after you, and you have to pick up some sticks to start a fire or you'll freeze to death. So outside of that, like, a little survival, not survival in the sense of like a Minecraft or something. Adventure, yes. Story rich, story lame. You know what I'm saying? Story lame, not rich. I wouldn't consider it a rich story. A lot of it just seemed like it's left a lot to want to be known. You know what I mean? Like, they explained it, but it was just kind of like vaguely explained. Story was like way better than Grounded. Like, it makes sense. It just, the depth that it wants to say for richness, in my opinion, is not there. I would say there's a story and it makes sense. So there's that. Psychological horror, to an extent, yeah, I would say to an extent. Mystery, yeah. Walking simulator, yes. Survival horror, same concept with the other survival tag. It's like, kind of. Sci-fi, no, not really, in my opinion, except like when you see the cube come down and it crashes. Outside of that, well, I mean, science fiction. Is Lovecraft considered science fiction? I don't know. I feel like if it was more space-based, it'd be sci-fi. To me, it's more, it'd be more like mythical or like something like that, I guess. I don't feel the sci-fi. My opinion, though. Tell me if I'm wrong, Single player, yes. Realistic, yeah, the graphics are pretty good, so I guess you could argue. I'm spit on you. Yes, you could argue that. First person, psychological, yes. Thriller, more annoying than it was a thriller to me. Just my opinion. Indie, yeah. I'm not going to shit on the game all that much. I love Lovecraft. Like, I love that type of lore. I love that type of feel for story. They made other games. This company is, I think that's a person's name, but I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. ALESSANDROGUZZO. So if it was made by a single dev, it's a great game. You did well. But yeah, they have, how many? They got The Land of Pain, Cosmic Fear, and that's it. But I have The Land of Pain, and I will buy the Cosmic Fear when it comes out, which it is released in, coming out, available 2025. It doesn't have a date. It looks good. Probably around the same logic as this game. I'll play their other one. Like I said, I'll play Land of Pain eventually, since we do own it. Most games that I play, even if the game, in my opinion, is shit, I'll play the rest of the company's games or the devs' games just to see if, like, maybe they made some improvements or if they had tweaked anything to make me be like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. This game, like I said, it's not horrible. It's just like the little shit that they do. Like, why did I constantly go back to where I got jumped and got my fucking ass beat, drugged, and then kept in a room? Why did I go back there? These cult people are looking for me. They know about my uncle's house. They know about this, but yet I'm in and out of this apartment doing shit. I just thought that was kind of fucking stupid. Like, maybe move the stuff, go to a different place. To me, that was dumb. That didn't make sense, is what it is, though. Some people could be like, well, Nate, you had to because, like, that's where all the stuff was. But then why didn't we fucking move the stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally got our ass beat in a fucking slimy-ass, nasty-looking butthole tube. And then we lay down in a room, forcefully lay down, mind you, drugged with something in a syringe, and then tons of pills all over this table. So, like, why would we go back? Logically, at this point, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck about this cube. I don't need to find out anything else. But it's a video game, and quite like movies, they're going to do stupid things, or you're just going to have you do, like, I think the word would be asinine stuff that just doesn't logically make sense. But that's my complaint. My only other complaint outside of that is just the ending. I don't understand how we ended up in this tube next to Cthulhu. Like, we had just been trying to remember. Like, we had been in this tube, but everything that we're doing is more or less like a memory or us in a trance or a hallucination finding ourselves in this tube, which that's a fucking trippy thing to think about. You walk up, You look at this nasty, grotesque tube, and inside the tube is you. And then your mind breaks and you tweak like that. I assume that would be what happens. I don't believe in the butterfly effect in the sense of like if I went back in time and saw myself, I don't think me interacting with myself would cause us to like fucking twitch and vanish or something like that, kind of like Project Almanac, where it looked like when the one dude woke himself up and he saw himself that he started glitching. I've never time traveled, so I can't tell you if I'm seeing myself would kill me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think the concept of that, minus it being kind of weird and not really, like it explained it, but it just explained it in a way that I was like, okay, what the fuck? So the whole time to me, this game is not really real. The real part of you is in that tube, and the rest of it seems to be some type of like trance or you reliving something. But then you see yourself and you like wig out. That to me, that's a trippy concept. I like that. So like I'm not gonna say that's bad. The only part of this game that I just didn't genuinely fucking enjoy is, hear me out, the fact we go back to our uncle's house so many fucking times after we had such a bad experience or a negative thing happen there, to the extent where it's like no logical person would keep going back to this house. And if you would, as a human being, assume you would do that over and over, I hope they get you and kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just dumb. Like, that's just stupid. Like, I should have gone back, got captured, and then they could have continued the story that way. That would have made more sense to me, because then every time we go back, nothing's going on, but it seems like your guy's a little scared about it. Like, what? Outside of that, I thought the game was good. I thought it was really good. There's another creature like this fucking, looks like Siren Head, but not really Siren Head. It's like a bunch of trees, and then it looks like a reindeer kind of. So it's not really Siren Head, but the only thing I could compare it to is Siren Head because of how it kind of like looks, right? And you just see that in passing, and I'm like, what the fuck was that about? If you read all the notes and letters, you're going to get a good amount of information on the game as you're playing it, which is what I recommend that you do. The only games that I really play that I don't really read everything I pick up is like Skyrim or like Bethesda games. It's not that I don't read it. If I have the time, I'll read it, but the reason I mention that is because they have books, and their books can be literal books. You know what I'm saying? Or the Lusty Argonian or whatever it's called. Like, there's volumes. There's like pages upon pages of different books or different stories that you can read inside Skyrim and Oblivion and most Bethesda games. And if you have the free time, some of them are really fucking good. I recommend reading them. I've read a few, at least in one of my playthroughs. I have like a cabinet where I keep all the books that I've read, and then what I haven't read, I just, either add to a different cabinet and then read it eventually. I don't do it all the time, but when I was sick once, and like I think it was college, I just was like, I don't want to play the game because I don't feel good, but I want the atmosphere. So like I would just hear the sound of the fire and read their fucking lore, and I thought that was cool. So like, I mean, maybe if you're a nerd like me, you might like that. But in this one, if you read the notes and you read your journal, you'll gain you'll gain more knowledge about actually everything that's happening, and it kind of makes it make more sense. Still don't really fully grasp why I was in that tube, but I got enough knowledge to realize, oh, we were fucking clearly here before. You know what I mean? Outside of that, like I said, the apartment going back and forth to that annoyed me because it just didn't make sense to me as to why we would do that when there was such a negative thing that happened there. But outside of that, I'd say this game, for what it is, graphics are good. Not really scary. It is more psychological, at least what I've noticed in most Lovecraftian style games. Not all of them have jump scares. Not all of them are in your face. It's more like mental and wants you to experience it and then be like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, there was a couple moments like that in this game, especially the vat, when you see yourself in it looks like a Bacta tank, right? Or just like a cryo tube. And that was cool. That left me going, fuck, that would be fucking wild. How would I feel if I found myself in a tube? Like, what would happen? You know what I mean? Like, would I cry or freak out? That'd be a horrible existence. But I like Cthulhu. I like Lovecraftian stuff. I will definitely play more of this dev's games or company's games. I don't know. Just, to me, that looks like a name. I can't read it. Sorry, I have dyslexia, and some things are very difficult, and there's a lot of S's and A's in there, and I just don't know how it would sound pronounced, and I don't feel like looking it up. With that being said, The Land of Pain we will play. Alien Cube, Would I recommend it? If you like Lovecraft things, this would not be my first recommendation of a Lovecraftian game to you. But if you're like, hey, I found the Alien Cube, what do you think? I would say it's decent. Give it a try for 4 hours that I think it took me to play it. It took me longer than most because there's a shovel that you're supposed to find, and it took me 30 to 40 minutes to realize that that shovel's up against the fucking wall. I ran all around. I had to Google it, which is sad to say, but that's my fault because I don't pay enough attention or take my time sometimes. And I was just one of those moments when I was just too ready to go that I didn't truly explore the little cabin that I was in. But if I would have taken my time to explore the cabin, I probably would have found the shovel on my own. All in all, it was a decent game. It's a decent game. I'm not going to rate it horribly. I would say it's a tad bit above mid. It's better than a 5. So I will say I'll rate this game a 5.9 out of 10. On Steam, all the reviews, 462 of them, are very positive. I'm not saying this isn't a game you shouldn't play. If I give something like a 3 or lower, that probably means you probably shouldn't play it. 4.5 and above, you can play it if you like it. Not all games are for everyone. This one I did enjoy. It's just part of the stories and some of the actions that the character has to do in the game. I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? So because of that, I'm going to rate it a 5.9, but that doesn't mean it's not a good game. I like it. I like the atmosphere. I kind of like the story, but I'm big on Lovecraft things, so maybe that is the reason I'm giving it a higher rating than I think it might sometimes deserve at points. Not disagreeing with the people on Steam. Maybe the people on Steam saw something that I didn't see, but 5.9 out of 10, not a negative review. Just, some things you could have done better. Outside of that, recommend this game. Loved this one. We'll play the next one. We'll play more Lovecraftian games because it's just a universe I enjoy being a part of. And until we find another one, this will probably be the only one for a little bit on the channel. We will get more Lovecraftian games here soon, but there are a few games I'm trying to finish. So, like, comment, subscribe, say something nice or say something mean. And until the next one, enjoy your day.